All right, let's talk about something that's been making waves in the crypto world, copy trading. The big promise here is super simple. What if you could get the results of a pro trader without actually being a pro trader? Sounds pretty amazing, right? But is it a brilliant shortcut, or is it just a trap waiting for newcomers? We're going to dig in and find out. Okay, be honest for a second. Have you ever pulled up a crypto trading chart, with all those lines and candles and numbers, and just felt completely and totally lost? Yeah, if you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are so not alone. The whole world of crypto trading can feel incredibly complex, maybe even a little, intimidating.
And that feeling, that's what we're going to call the trader's dilemma. You're trying to figure out how to navigate these crazy, complex crypto markets.
And this dilemma, it's a big one. I mean, suddenly you're supposed to be some kind of expert chart analyst, right? You're expected to be glued to the screen, tracking market signals 24/7, and you've got to do all this in a market that is notoriously volatile and risky. Oh, and don't forget the hours and hours of research. Look, for most people, that's not just a hobby, that's a full-time job that, let's be real, they just don't have time for.
So that brings us to this idea of a potential shortcut. What if you didn't have to become a market wizard overnight? What if you could just mirror an expert?
Let's use an analogy here. Imagine you want to become a gourmet cook, but you have zero experience. Now, what if you could put a camera in a master chef's kitchen and follow their every single move in your own kitchen in real time? They add a pinch of salt, you add a pinch of salt. They turn up the heat, you turn up the heat. You're basically borrowing their brain and their expertise to get the same result.
Well, that's pretty much the core idea behind crypto copy trading. It's the practice of automatically replicating or copying the trades of experienced, successful traders on a crypto platform. In other words, you're letting their expertise run your financial kitchen. So in this little dance, you've got two key players. On one side, you have the pro trader. This is the experienced investor whose moves are out there for you to see. And on the other side, well, that's the follower. That's you, the person who decides to automatically mirror what the pro is doing.
Okay, so the concept sounds simple enough, right? But how does it actually work? Let's break down the step-by-step process. It really boils down to about 4 key steps. First up, you've got to choose a platform that even offers copy trading. Step 2, and this one is huge, is finding a pro trader you actually want to follow. You need to find someone whose style you like. Then, step 3 is all about allocating your funds and setting up the automation. And finally, step 4, and this is super important, is to monitor everything and adjust if you need to. This is definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing. And really, that automation is the magic ingredient here. Your account is set up to automatically mirror the pro's trades in real time. But, and this is key, it's done proportionally to whatever amount of money you've put in. So if they make a move, your account makes the exact same move, just scaled to your investment. It's all hands off, happening in the background. Okay, look, I know this all sounds amazing. It sounds like a perfect solution. But this is where we have to pump the brakes a little bit and look at the whole picture. We need to weigh the promise versus the peril, because believe me, there are 2 sides to this coin. So let's talk about the good stuff first, the promise. For beginners, it's incredibly accessible. It saves a ton of time and effort. And hey, you might even learn a thing or two just by watching an expert do their thing. But then there's the other side, the peril. The biggest thing to remember is that you are still taking on all that market risk. Past performance is absolutely no guarantee of future results. And you're also trusting the platform itself to work perfectly, which is a whole other layer of risk. Plus, you gotta watch out for fees that might not be so obvious. And this really cuts to the core of it all. I want you to really let this sink in. When the pro trader loses, you lose too. It is that simple. Your fates are completely linked. You're on the same ride for better or for worse. So, after all that, we land on the big question, the only one that really matters. Is this actually right for you? And look, there's no simple yes or no here. It really truly depends on you. So before you even think about jumping in, you've got to ask yourself some tough questions. I'm talking about a personal checklist. And you have to be brutally honest here. What is your real tolerance for risk? Seriously, are you prepared for the possibility of losing everything you put in? Have you done your homework on the platform? And have you looked at the trader's long-term track record, not just some recent winning streak? Answering these honestly, that's non-negotiable. And of course, I have to say this, and it's super important. This is not financial advice. Not at all. What we're doing here is giving you a framework, a way to understand the concept so you can go out and do your own exploration and make your own decisions. So we're left right back where we started with that one big question. Is crypto copy trading a truly smart strategy, a game changer that makes the markets accessible for everybody? Or is it just a risk in disguise, a shortcut that seems easy on the surface, but is carrying all the same dangers right below?